I don't blame you, man. All these bass players in here.
Questions are fine, man.
It could be sometimes.
It's holding the camera with the talent in the room.
Man, what are you talking about the talent?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. In the basement, we got with us what's your name?
Richard Narrington.
Richard Narrington, a Detroit bass player, hanging out with us in the basement. I'm gonna be asking him some questions. Also hanging out with us is Mr. What's your name?
John Sargent.
And
Yes, sir.
James Francis.
And you are
James Formay.
The bass pimp.
And right here.
Candy.
With the nice shirt on. Take your shirt out. Come on, Rich, show your shirt.
Man.
You can't get that nowhere but from the bass pimp, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The original Detroit shirt right there.
We got that orange dude on the floor over there.
Oh yeah, this is the Pope, but hold on, you gotta check out my chords. I ain't gonna say no more.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
Jeff Whittle.
Jeff Whittle.
Goddamn Sharp.
And
Asian Sharp.
all of us hanging out in the basement. You got myself too.
Show me your shirt. Show me your shirt.
Oh.
Show me your shirt. Put the plug in it.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what we're talking about.
So you make the bass pimp shirt and the one man, one bass, one
Yeah,
crew
we'll get
shirt.
to me later. Go on, get it. Think my man got to go on.
That's cool. All right, so man, tell us what's going on, man. When did you start playing bass and why?
You know what? I started playing guitar, probably just like every other 13-year-old boy, you know. You get a guitar, you think it's cool, and you never touch it again. Kind of one of those things. And then I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and he wanted to start a band. Needed a bass player, so I was like, I can play bass, you know. And played with him a couple times, and then the guy that I play for now came over, and we were hanging out, and he asked me to come play in his country band. I was like, oh man. I listened to a lot of rock and metal at the time. I was like, no, that's really not my thing, but you know, whatever. I'll give it a shot. You know. And ended up getting fired probably a year later because I wasn't good enough.
Oh, come on.
And a couple years went by and he picked me up again. And evidently I'd practiced a little bit and got a little better.
There you go.
But so I played with him for about a year, and you know, now all of a sudden we're starting to get really busy. I mean, we've probably had 20, 30 gigs so far this year, 40 gigs maybe, and doing pretty well. You know, just recently I've actually started to really get into learning the instrument rather than just doing what I needed to do to get by and play the songs, you know. So as far as I'm concerned, I've been playing for about 6 months. That's when I actually am, you know, starting to get into it.
I feel you on that.
And you know, really wanting to learn about it and, you know, not just be able to play it.
Well, who is this you play with now?
The Modern Day Drifters. It's out of Livingston County.
Oh, okay.
20-30 minutes east of Lansing.
Okay, cool. And what is that?
Making the ride down here, man.
This wasn't bad. It's a pretty easy place to get to.
What's that you got in your hand, man?
This is a Court A5.
Yeah, very nice.
It's tiger stripe maple, wenge pieces, whatever you want to call them, to the neck.
Wenge.
Wenge is how you pronounce that.
Yeah.
It works. You know,
got a lot of knobs on there.
It's getting me by. It's just a volume, a blend, treble, mid, and bass.
With the switch for it.
The switch turns the active EQ off.
Ooh, that's pretty cool, man. That's a nice bass you got there.
I enjoy it. It works.
So you play country?
Play country. Yep, country, classic rock, and I do all the classic rock vocals.
Oh, okay. You got your
Sing too.
Now,
I mean, I try to do the vocals.
Now, if we wanted to hear you or hear your music,
you can hear us at themoderndaydrifters.com. We're on Facebook as well. So pretty much our gig schedule gets updated pretty regularly. So
anything coming up like soon?
We're doing an open mic night deal at Toby Keith's bar
Yeah, I know
over at the Great Lakes Crossing. More of an audition, really, to get in and actually play there. So that'll be pretty sweet. That'd be a kicking bar to play in too.
Oh yeah.
A lot of traffic, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
You know, playing's fun, but playing in front of nobody isn't always fun. Playing in front of a lot of people's always fun.
Well, it depends. Sometimes playing in front of 2 or 3 makes you have to work.
Yeah, it really does.
Especially if you're trying to play to get them to enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
That's gonna tell you, because they will. Yep.
Then they're going out for another smoke break.
That lets you know if you know.
And it'll make you really appreciate the work you're doing. When Charlie Mingus was with Eric Dolphy, or should I say when Eric Dolphy was with Charlie Mingus, Mingus wanted to quit and go wash dishes, because I mean they were playing in clubs with 1 or 2 people. But it was Eric Dolphy who told Mingus, "Come on, man, you got to come back here and play. Somebody out there cares." I mean, that's hard to do when you got 1 to 2 people in the audience, but still,
the bartender,
you gotta play from the heart. If it's 2 or 200, you know, somewhere somebody cares.
Yeah, I've played in front of nobody, and I've played in front of thousands of people. And it's tough to play in front of nobody. It's tough to keep that drive and that happiness, that want to do it, you know, that good feeling everybody gets when they're playing live, and it's tough to get that, but I've gotten to a point that I have fun at every gig now. It doesn't matter what it is. So
you're a musician in front of 2 or 200.
Yep, exactly.
I played in front of nobody before. I was standing in the mirror. It didn't reflect back, did it?
It's no reflection of me.
When you have those situations, do you use it as like a study platform?
Most definitely.
Try different things to see if it fits.
We will change formats on songs completely.
Just to see if it
just to see how it works and see how well it goes. Usually when we'll do that stuff is when there's only 10 or 12 people in a bar, but every single one of them's dancing. And we got a couple of bars we go to that are like that. You know, there might 10 or 11 o'clock at night there might only be 5 or 10 people in there, but they're all dancing.
There you go.
So we'll change a lot of stuff around. You know, this guy will sing this song, or we'll change the beat on this one, and we'll mix songs together. So it's kind of cool. You know, most of the country stuff, most of the classic rock stuff, it's all pretty much straightforward 12-bar blues and just real basic bass, you know, and so you can really change stuff a lot and have fun with it and run songs in together.
Now, do you guys
nobody ever knows the difference.
Do you guys take the Big and Rich approach to how they do country music, Big and Rich? Because they kind of mix everything in their
We do mostly covers, and we do a couple of Big and Rich songs. I don't know what you mean about how they go about it.
Well, they kind of mix like what they do with some of the hip hop stuff that they like, some of the rock stuff, some of the traditional country stuff that they like. And they mix it all in one show.
They make it like a big production.
Yeah, and I saw one of their concerts on TV, and I was blown away. And I'm like, man, I went out and bought a couple of CDs. This stuff is great.
Every once in a while we do. We really try to keep it, most of the songs as close to the record as we possibly can, because people, I don't know what it is about country music, but people critique it really badly when you're a bar band. And so we try to do them as close as we possibly can and not change the stuff. But on the other hand, we got a lot of stuff that's in the same ballpark, a lot of Johnny Cash and things like that we will change and do them the way we want to. And we usually end up putting a little bit more of a twangy edge, and the rhythm guitar will be a little bit more heavily distorted, drums will be a little faster, and we make a party out of it.
Now country's always got a big sound. So.
Do you all do your own originals? Or?
We have right now, I think, 6 or 7 originals, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood.
So you kind of mix them in.
Yep. And they're a pretty decent mix of old sounding country, Waylon Jennings, things like that, and even on into some of the newer stuff. So we've got a pretty decent range of our own songs as well.
That's cool.
We're doing these covers and all that kind of stuff. Did you And once you started taking the bass a little seriously, did you start listening to other bass players, or you got any favorites or anything like that?
Yes. Obviously, everybody's going to say this, but Victor Wooten amazes me. But when it comes to country, there's a guy out there named Tully Kennedy, and he is just he is amazing. Man, I could talk that guy up all day long. I don't know what it is about him. His playing does it for me.
What's his name again?
Tully Kennedy. He's the bass player for Jason Aldean.
Okay.
So.
Now, it's a country. Do you know Keith Horn? Or
Play with Left-Handed Cat?
No.
Yeah, played. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen him quite a few times with different country artists, because that was one of Victor Wooten's best friends. So he's like Victor, but playing country.
Right.
Like, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in Nashville that are, you know, most of them aren't even in bands. They're touring musicians, session musicians, and you know, most of Nashville's all recorded on the same stuff. P basses, jazz basses, and Avalon DIs. That's it. You know.
Well, if you go to most producers, it's only 5 bass sounds they're gonna ask you for: a P bass, a J bass, a Smith, a Music Man, and the occasional Hoffer bass. That's only they're gonna ask you for anything else. They're gonna ask you for those 5 sounds.
Yep.
No matter where you go.
Yep, and they want them that bass only. Yep. So everybody's using really expensive DIs and
or some kind of modeling apparatus to make it.
Yeah, those guys bank too, man. $2,000–3,000 an hour. It's ridiculous. But that'd be cool to be to that point someday. But you know, the guys that I listen to, like Tully Kennedy, you know, he has a regular band too, and he's got a bunch of other side projects that are pretty sweet, and you know, he's the one that's, you know, kind of inspired me to learn how to play it rather than just go up and, you know, fake it. It may sound good, but I want to know why.
There was a cat that used to be he wrote a column for Bass Player magazine, Dave Pomeroy.
That name sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, Pomeroy.
Dave Pomeroy is a bad boy.
Yeah. That name sounds great.
A lot of people discount country western music, or what they call that other stuff, like
Western swing.
Western swing, or what category would you put Bella Fleck and the Flecktones in?
Oh, bluegrass.
Bluegrass.
Yeah.
I seen some bluegrass at the
Man, you want to talk about some musicians all around. Bluesgrass is it,
man.
Yep. You got to.
I was dropping out
really
all day.
You know, jazz, in my opinion, jazz and bluegrass, man. Those guys. That's tough to hold.
I saw this young lady on the soundstage. Her name was Sarah Jarose. She plays mandolin. She had a cellist with her and a violin player, just the 3 of them. But my goodness, when she played that mandolin, it was like watching Joe Pass on guitar. I mean, you know, it was that bluegrass flavor. It was their music, but that's the musicianship blew me away. Which is going to lead me to another question. You talk about this guy named Tully. What I like about country is that it's like old rock and roll. It's very simple music. It's not complex. I want to know, what is it about his bass playing? Because unfortunately, a lot of people have the notion of country western, boom, boom, boom. I know it's more than that, but what does he do?
Well, you know, a lot of his, like, there's a song in particular that he's got a little lick in there he does a couple times. You know, it's just little simple things like that.
Or something like that.
And it, you know, he's still got the. You know, he's still got that, but then there's a lot of...
Yeah, okay. I can feel that. Yeah.
So it's some groovalicious stuff going on there.
You know, he's, exactly. He puts a little more soul into it. You know, it's not just a basic...
And make that simple sound good. And it's hard to play good precision simple.
A lot of times the simpler it is, it's harder for people to play, because I see a lot of guys who can play a lot of fast stuff, but ask them to play slow.
Play a ballad.
Yeah,
that's scary to do.
When you have to stop and slow down,
you know,
where you at.
That's funny. We had we were at a rehearsal one day, and we added some old Hank Sr. song, and I mean it's just. And I looked at the singer, I'm like, man, I'm going to tell you right now, if you pull that out, I'm like, and I start to get a little crazy with it, I might just, you know, tap me on the shoulder. Guitar player spoke, he said, no, hell no, you're a professional.
That's
you
right.
play those basic notes.
Yeah, I love them. I love them slow, long.
That's a good point, man.
That way I ain't got to work that hard on a particular
I
song.
don't know, man.
Take a break.
Stuff is more demanding than playing the fast stuff.
Exactly.
Because it exposes you. You know, you have to have a different set of sensibilities
Doing
to do the flow stuff.
country music, with it being pretty much root-based and with a few other things, how often do you use the fifth string, the B string?
The B string?
Uh-huh.
All day long.
Is that right?
I don't like playing an open E. I don't know if it's just, you know, lack of control thing. Or,
you like to close?
Or maybe, you know, the tone.
So you're playing bar on that fifth fret all the time. Okay.
You know, a little richer sound out of the B string.
Okay.
And I play a low D and a low C all the time. And actually, open B.
Wow. Because that fills out the bottom end of the whole music.
Right.
If you're playing, everybody's hitting that D, and you hit that low D on the B string, it just fattens the whole song out.
Yeah, and actually we got like some Johnny Cash song, I don't remember. Anyway, I do that one rather than doing that one, you know, E and A. I do it with the low B. Folsom Prison, there we go. I couldn't even count that.
You been there?
Yeah. I drove right past. We play that. That's why I said I know what you were talking about.
So I play that one down there.
Okay.
Get a little bit lower, a little bit thicker sound out of it. You know, it sounds a little better with heavier distorted guitars. So yeah, so I get to play around a little bit.
When you hit that, when you use your low B and you hit that note, you can feel the stage. Yeah. Rumble.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's kind of looking at you, grinning like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah. You know, and we play out of we play out of a pretty hefty PA system, so we can shake a building.
Yep.
You know, we're running 2 15s or a single 18, some hefty mains. We're pushing a lot of watts out of it.
Earth move.
Yeah, we can drop some stuff. For a while, I wasn't even playing with an amp. I just had a little $30 Behringer DI box and
you told me about that.
Yeah, and a little wireless monitors for everybody, and I didn't have an amp. And then I kind of got a little antsy about it. Everybody else is buying cool stuff. Come on now.
Right.
So I had a Hartke head laying around.
Cool chords,
exactly. You know, so I had a Hartke head laying around. Went and bought an Eden 115 XLT cabinet, one of the pre-buyout ones. So it's mint condition, man. Thing's 10 years old.
So you pretty much work the 15 inch.
Just that for now. I don't need anything else. We've got some pretty regular outdoor gigs that I may eventually, you know, probably add something else or a different cabinet altogether. I'd like to try some 12s. I played through a Mesa 212. It was pretty thumping. A nice sweet sound. So, but the outdoor gigs, man, we've got those every year. Fireworks shows, fairs. That's one thing cool about playing country music, is you can always find work somewhere. Always find work. There's always somebody waiting to go to a bar and drink beer. You know?
Well, man, we ain't want to keep you nothing, man. Very interesting information you're giving us. Is there anything you wanted to say before we let you go?
No, I think I pretty much talked everybody's ear off. You know?
Well, how about, would you like to play us something out?
I'd give it a shot, man.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rich Narrington. Is that right?
Yep.
Rich Narrington.